He won the Mandrake Door and the Merlin Award for Best European Illusionist, placing him alongside David Copperfield and Siegfried and Roy.
Usually all the time, as much as I can. You know, there's this dark side that some of us have, that some of us use, others don't. I don't like my dark side. I use it to create light, to make people around me shine, to use it on stage. Because of my childhood, all of a sudden magic allowed me to literally exist. I became visible to other people. And that was a very, very cool experience, because at home I was not really very visible. But I think the real magic happens in our minds and especially in our hearts. That to me is very important. My show is loaded with hopefully meaningful and emotional messages. During a dress rehearsal, a prop of ours that was 10 feet high tipped forward with both of us on it. And she was in a very vulnerable position to start with. And as we were tipping forward, I saw it. I yelled, hold. I was holding her. And I was struggling with naysayers my entire life since I was a kid. So whatever you wanted to do, it's too big. It's too impossible. You're not good enough. You're never going to make it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm on the water, and at some point, I feel that I'm stuck. My first reaction is panic. What are you going to do? My second reaction was, wait, you still have 4 minutes left in your lungs.
Hi guys, welcome to Open Up. Today's guest is one and only David Goldrake, who is the international man of mystery. He was born in Luxembourg, began performing as a boy, and went on to star in his own TV show on Luxembourg's RTL, fluent in 7 languages. Wow. He has performed in over 50 countries for royalty and Fortune 500 companies and headlined a 5-year Las Vegas Strip residency with Imaginarium, the first strip show to use 3D projection technology. That's amazing. Before returning in 2025 with an evening of grand illusion, he won the Mandrake Door and the Merlin Award for Best European Illusionist, placing him alongside David Copperfield and Siegfried and Roy.
Correct.
Oh, wow. He goes by the International Man of Mystery. By his own admission, that persona is his real personality, just edited. He kept what he wanted seen and buried the rest. Tonight we go looking for what he has buried.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. What is it that you buried? What is it that they're not allowed to see?
All the secrets that we all have. We all have traits, personality traits, and secrets that we want to keep to ourselves. And that's what I keep to myself.
Well, I guess
And it will remain a secret.
that's going to have to stay that way, huh? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So personal mistakes,
Yeah,
choices.
not just the mistakes, the personality traits that you don't want people to know about, that you don't want people to see.
Just family.
The little things that bother yourself that you don't want to own. So those remain in the little secret box.
Wow.
That you open occasionally just to cuddle with it, and then you put it back.
Very cool that you can do that.
Yeah.
And
it's
you
important.
put them back when you're on stage, or you put them back just randomly? Or?
Usually all the time, as much as I can. You know, there's this dark side that some of us have, that some of us use, others don't. I don't like my dark side. I use it to create light, to make people around me shine, to use it on stage. So that's when I kind of open it, but only for the good things.
Wow.
Yeah.
What first sparked your interest in magic and illusion?
Oh, I was 8 years old when I discovered a little piece of magic involving thimbles in a children's magazine. It was like a comic book, and they had a magic section, and I discovered that. And I was fascinated by the sleight of hand, the psychology. It was the whole interest was combined, which is kind of interesting now that, you know, over the years you realize those things. Because of my childhood, all of a sudden magic allowed me to literally exist. I became visible to other people. And that was a very, very cool experience because at home I was not really very visible.
Why not?
So, well, that's the way my parents were. And I discovered that magic made people see me. Some performers, whether it's magicians, actors, singers, anything, some of them are there to shine brighter, to be more than what they are. And in my case, it was just, hey, I'm here. You see me. Great. Yeah.
Wonder what made them not see you. Do you have a lot of brothers and sisters?
No, I'm the oldest of three.
Okay.
I just had let's call it a very dark childhood that a lot of us
dark.
have had. Not in that sense.
Ooh, now we're even the man of mystery here. It's getting very interesting. The mystery.
Yeah.
Dark childhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very strict parents, very... Yes.
But they didn't abuse or anything like that?
Not really.
Okay. Well, was there a specific magician or performance that inspired you to pursue this career?
No. That's the fascinating
just that
part.
one particular moment.
Yes. I think about it regularly. And I realized I saw my very first magician live when I was 13 years old. So I discovered that piece of magic when I was 8. And then there was the next month installment with another piece of magic. And it was just, I don't know, it was fascinating to me. I know when I was 11, 12, I told my parents, that's my career. And I hadn't even seen a live magician yet. Oh, wow. And so 2 years later, I see this magician on stage. And he was combining sideshow stunts with magic. And a lot of it looked very real. And I still have to laugh when I go back and go, oh, this is a classic. This is a classic. He did it that way. And I had no clue because those were more evolved principles, more advanced magic pieces and illusions. And that's the time where I'm going, yeah. So I was 11 years old when I told my parents that's my career. They obviously back then, they go, yeah, it's a nice hobby. They didn't take it seriously. Mm-hmm. 7 years later, I saw David Copperfield in Germany. When I was 19, and I looked at the show, I watched the show, and I told my girlfriend, that's it. That's really it. That's my destiny. Yeah.
You just mentioned girlfriend. For some reason, because you look so good, I thought you were gay. What? You're straight? What?
Aren't we all gay once in a while?
I was like, well, you look so good to be straight.
Okay, wow. You're very generous. Now I'm blushing.
Oh, no, you're not. Wow.
The world is not black and white. Let's put it that way.
Okay, because all right. This is an interesting interview, huh?
It is. It is.
But it's an open up. So, we open up. That's what we do. Nobody judges anybody here. This is a safe space.
Yeah, it is.
Now I lost.
Okay. You were talking about my career and what magician influenced me.
And that's you.
So, So speaking of influences, I didn't really have a lot of magical influences because Luxembourg is a very small country. I wasn't exposed to a lot of magic or other performance arts. I remember I was a huge fan of Michael Jackson's, Madonna's. Those people were the icons that I looked up to and that I studied actually. Just watching, the movement, the charisma, the way you control the audience, all those elements. And slowly I started seeing more and more magicians. And that's when I also started understanding magic more than the previous years before. I also have to say that I kept magic a secret for a very long time. I never thought it was really cool. So as a teenager, I would read my magic books that I would buy, and I wouldn't share that with anyone. It was like my secret, the secret box. Magic belonged in there back then. This is my world, and no one's allowed to see it.
Wow.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. So Michael, Madonna, both have one thing in common. They always spoke with themselves in the mirror and they just had all these manifestations.
Yes.
And
I've never done that.
I've
known of that forever and I've tried it And it just feels so ridiculous
Really?
to look at myself and go, oh, there's a movie, what was it called? It's something with November. Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron, if I'm not mistaken. She has cancer. She's about to die. And he's in marketing and advertising. And he's in front of the mirror every morning. Oh, you're the best. You're this. You're that. And I remember watching that movie and going, sure. I think it was Sweet November. And that's what Michael used to do. He had the Post-its and Madonna and all those people. That's, the power of manifestation, visualization. I do visualize, but never done it in front of a mirror. It's just this.
Because you already know, probably because you're very familiar with.
Yeah, I don't need to see this.
Wow. So you don't strike me for narcissistic then.
Oh, well,
you just,
I hope I'm not.
You're very down to earth.
I try to be.
Wow, very interesting. And what for me, magic, is it really magic, or are those just like kind of tricks, or just more illusion?
That's a beautiful question. I think obviously what I do is art. It's a theatrical art. I recreate things that seem impossible, and I make them look real. But I think the real magic happens in our minds, and especially in our hearts. That to me is very important. My show is loaded with hopefully meaningful and emotional messages. I talk about relationships, I talk about challenges, I talk about connections. There's a lot in my show that, even in vulnerability, magic has been seen as a sexist art form for the past decades. And what a lot of people don't realize is that it's actually the opposite. I put my assistant in a box, I put sword thread or whatever, she comes out unharmed. I just prove to you how invulnerable and how strong she is. And I actually start the show with that speech. There's a script in my show that starts with magic is about invulnerability, the triumph of beauty over danger. And so I try to imbue the show with a lot of those messages. And that, to me, is where the magic really starts, where I can touch people emotionally, when I can trigger things. I have people come to me after the show, when I do the meet and greets, that still have tears in their eyes and that say, you moved me with that specific piece. And those are the moments that make me happy. Everyone tells you, you're great, you're the best, you're this. Great, thank you, next. But the moments you see someone that was really moved, that's where, in my opinion, the magic truly happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to come see your show ASAP.
You're always welcome. Anytime.
Yeah, I've heard so many great things.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
So I've always kind of had that ick. Well, there are a lot of magicians out there, and just feels like dark. It feels like there's some type of, are they possessed?
No, I think it's there's a desire by various magicians to create various worlds, various, universes. And some, Chris Angel, for instance, is an example.
That's what I was thinking.
Chris likes darkness. In his show, he has these tiny moments where you go, that was interesting, but a lot of people think it's too dark, and yet it works very well for him. He loves the dark makeup, the dark persona. It's part of him, and it works for him. So I think everyone has their different approach, their point of view. I always say that art, whatever art you do, whether it's painting, music, acting, maybe acting less because you're at the mercy of the director and the script writers and everything. So you interpret what they give you. But generally, it's the point of view. It's how you express your point of view. And I think in Chris's case, it's the darkness. David was more about movies and stories. There's a great mentalist, Colin Cloud, who's like the real-life Sherlock Holmes. That's all about reading people. So everyone has their point of view and their angle of how they see the world and how they translate it on stage.
And yours is?
Mine is literally transformation, I would say. Transformation, mystery, touching people, and raising questions.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love rattling cages in a soft way. Yeah.
And your show is on the Strip, right?
Yeah, it is on the Strip. We reopened in November. It's at the Magician's Room.
Okay.
And we are there 5 days a week.
Oh, it's closed now until November?
No. Okay. We opened in November.
Oh,
we opened last November, so it's been going on for 8 months now. And we're there 5 days a week. Yeah.
Fantastic. Because I do remember, for some reason, Vegas.com kept saying your show wasn't going on, and I was like, what is happening? I know it is.
We had some issues, yes. That's all resolved. They just listed it as no performances, and it was resolved within 24 hours. Yeah.
Okay, they fixed it. Okay.
They did fix it.
The one time I was trying to come to your show.
Ouch. Well,
But I'm gonna make time
Yeah,
again
I'd like
very
that.
soon.
I'd like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you're welcome. You can bring your guests,
Yes,
and
of
we'll
course.
hopefully have a good evening.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am definitely. Every this is a question from one of the fans.
Okay.
Every interviewer asks about the trick. I do not want that. I want the moment you have never told anyone on a stage or on a camera before tonight, not because it is dramatic, because it is true and you have never had a reason to say it out loud until now.
Wow, that's a deep statement and question. Um, there have been many moments like that where things happen on stage, with a spectator or without, that are just different, that you don't want to share. I've had one that I did share on a TEDx talk that I did in 2019, where I picked a lady. First, the whole show was, somehow it felt like it was about that family, and I had no clue, generally speaking. But I call this gentleman on stage, and he refuses. He's there with his wife and his son, and he doesn't want to. And I felt this is genuine. Sometimes people are kind of shy, but I know they would be a good spectator, so I try to coerce them to come on stage. This gentleman felt wrong. I said, okay, I'll respect that. For the next piece, I called his wife up, and she came. And she was not what you would call the best stereotype spectator. Her behavior was a little awkward, she wasn't comfortable, and yet she felt right. And after the show, we had the debriefing, and my production manager, he goes crazy. Why did you pick her? You could tell she wasn't the right person. I said, no, she was the right person. I don't know why, but she felt right. And my computer is right here on my right. We're in my office, and bing, email. Like, this is like an hour after the show. And it was that lady. She emailed me the same evening. They had gone back to their hotel. So their son was very ill. They suspected he could die any moment. The father was not his biological father, and he refused to come on stage because he didn't want to leave the son's or the boy's side. And she told me that by bringing her on stage, I made that kid's night. He would not stop talking about that. And Catalina, that brought tears to my eyes. I looked at Torsten, I said, see, that's why we do what we do. I read the email to everyone, and I said, that's why she was the right person.
Ooh, I have goosebumps.
And yeah. I did it. I recounted this story during my TEDx talk in 19. I had tears in my eyes talking about it because it was so moving. And he's still alive. The kid is still alive. This is now 8 years later. Janelle, that's her name, writes to me occasionally just to report, to tell me how he's doing and everything. And those are the most beautiful moments. That's what happens behind the scenes, behind the glamour, behind the showy parts. Those are the genuine moments that you do want to share with people, to show them what is possible, how impactful what we do can be, and meaningful. But those are not the moments that you brag about or that you showcase, because they're very precious. Yeah, so that's one of those moments.
That's an amazing moment.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic. And the irony of my stage manager going, why did you pick her? It just felt right. This is what told me pick her. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have maybe a connection with the divine?
I don't know. I feel like all good performers in the long run develop this sensitivity to know who's good for what piece, and who will connect well, and who will be the right vessel for the right piece. So who knows?
Maybe a sixth sense or something.
Yeah. I think we all develop that in the long run. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's something special. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do.
That's it. Yeah.
What would be a trick that you would do right now if you could do something?
Oh man, I could do a lot of things, but yeah, let's focus on the questions, on the connection.
Right. Wow. Was there a night on stage or off when you almost walked away from all of it?
Oh man.
And what stopped you?
Yes. There have been many nights. Oh yes. It's funny because when I was very young, I don't know if you had that too, but I feel like a lot of people, we always think that we are the only ones in the situation that we're in.
Yes.
Whether it's the good one or the bad one. And, it is, they're better, they're worse, or whatever. And then you realize we're all in the same boat. Sometimes it's a Titanic, sometimes it's a nice cruise ship. And I remember talking to Siegfried about that, from Siegfried and Roy, because we were really good friends. And one day I had asked him, I was in my, oh man, it was in early 2000s. I go, Siegfried, have you ever had this feeling that you just want to give up, that everything is too much, that you don't live up to your own expectations and the audience expectations? And he goes with his Bavarian accent, I have that all the time. And I'm like, what? He's like, of course, David. And he started telling me about, the pressure that we go through and everything and so forth and so on. And it made me feel really great because I always felt I should not feel that way. And that's the second half of your question. The thing that keeps us from not giving up, in my case at least, it's the audience. I feel there's a deep responsibility towards my audience to share what I have to share. Even my path, I've been doing this for over 25 years now. I have a following of people who want to come see my shows, who follow me, who are interested in what I do on stage and off stage. And to me, there's a sense of responsibility towards those people. There's a thing that goes, I owe it to them. I want them to continue be inspired by what I do. Even my workout journey, I post regular things about my gym exercises and everything. And that's mainly to show everyone, I'm 52, you can do it. Even even though you're 30 or 25 or 40, just go for it. There's nothing holding you back. It's all about inspiring people, and it's this sense of responsibility. Yes, but I've had those moments multiple times where everything is too much, everything is too complicated, everything is overwhelming. And then you go, no, you're stronger than that. The universe gives you as much as you can carry, and you know what? I'll take a little more.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Was there ever a moment where that just everything went south, like an accident or a tragedy?
Yes. I don't advertise it that much here in the US, but my ex-wife and I had an accident in 2015 in October. During a dress rehearsal, a prop of ours that was 10 feet high tipped forward with both of us on it. And she was in a very vulnerable position to start with. And as we were tipping forward, I saw it. I yelled, hold. I was holding her. And she sadly broke her neck. So she's been in a wheelchair for the past 11 years. I still have a lot of nerve and muscle damage. But that's one thing where you realize that things can happen to everyone. Yeah. So that was our big life-changing tragedy 11 years ago almost.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Your ex-wife.
Yes. We had just gotten married 6 months before that. We had the perfect marriage, and then this happened, and we went through hell together.
And you've lasted for a while after?
Yeah. We lasted for a few years, and she's the one who made the decision that
about the divorce.
She couldn't handle our lifestyle anymore. It was too stressful for her, which I get. I was doing the show on the Strip. I was taking care of her. I was sleeping 2-3 hours a night and nothing else, and just work and taking care of her. And at some point she said, I need the life. So she went to see her family, and eventually she decided to stay there. And she met someone else. She's engaged or married, I don't know. And I feel like she's well taken care of, which is great.
That's good. Thank God. That is great to hear. She's...
So she's on her journey now. Yeah.
So not only you were willing to stick around with someone that was in a wheelchair.
Yes.
But you also didn't even break it up. You weren't the one that called it quits.
No,
Wow.
I talked to our doctors back then. I talked to my therapist back then. I talked to friends, and everyone said, this is going to either take you apart, rip you apart, or bring you closer. And I was always the one who said, this is going to bring us closer. I love her. I will do everything it takes. And I did. And then I got the news, and I was like, okay. And I did something that to this day surprises me, but it's taught me a lot about, I guess, love. I was willing to let her go because it was about her happiness. I just said, okay,
Jeez.
Sorry.
Wow.
Do you want a tissue?
No, I have them in my other
I'm
room.
sorry. I'm sorry. But
Wow, I love it.
I was ripped to pieces. I was devastated. I've been single since, and I realized you have to let her go. It's for her. It's about her, not about you. And it was one of the toughest decisions ever. Wow. Yeah. Wow, this is an interesting podcast.
I love it. That just says so much about you, and it's
No, it's okay.
yeah.
I'm just a simple guy.
Define simple. Shoot. Wow. Wow, David, that's
C'est la vie, as they say. Yes.
And what makes you happy these days?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I'm still working on that. I love seeing other people happy. When I can help someone, when I can be there for someone, when I see a smile in someone's face, that makes me very happy. It's very fulfilling. Yeah, a lot of people, close friends, regularly tell me, "Well, you do so much for others, and you're such a great man." And I'm like, it's very selfish, Yes, I do help others, but it's very fulfilling for me. So I know there's a very strong selfish element to that. That just seeing someone smile and be happy makes me very happy. Yeah.
You even call that selfish?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's something in it for me. It's very, very satisfying. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you a religious person or?
I wouldn't say so. I'm more
spiritual?
very spiritual. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have a very deep soul.
Oh, I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
you tell me.
Very, very.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a soul with a lot of questions. I question everything all the time. So I think that's where the spirituality comes from. Yeah.
What is the most common question you ask all the time?
Oh.
Besides why? 'Cause I bet
Currently,
you say why a lot.
that's the most important question. No, I think right now it's the purpose. What is each person's purpose? How do we find our own purpose? I remember when we were 15, a bunch of us boys being in a friend's treehouse and just dissecting life and all those questions. And we boiled it down to the purpose question. And it was, everyone has their purpose. And how do you find your purpose? What makes your purpose? And how do you become the better version or the best version of you? I think that's the most important question to me constantly. Like, what's the next step? Yeah.
And if you were to get outside of your body and go in this other multiverse and try to answer that, how would you answer?
Wow. I think the answer is try to be the best person you can be, and try. And this is not as deep as it should sound, I guess, based on the question, but I wish more people listened, more people tried to understand the person across from them. I have daily dialogues with people that are mostly monologues, where I try to just sit back and listen. And when I say something, I realize they haven't even listened to what you said. I had a very interesting conversation a few weeks ago where the person, very religious, was like, "Oh, I always say, do unto others how you want them to treat other people like you want them to treat you." And I say, "Well, that's not my philosophy." "Yeah, right, because I do this." I just said, "That's not how I see it." And she stopped. "Well, what do you mean?" And I said, "I treat other people the way they want to be treated, which entails questions, because I may be a masochist, I may want to be tortured, and then what? Am I going to torture you?" And I could tell that I broke that mold, and it was really hard for that person to get out of that and go, "Let me think about that." Because most people don't stop and go, "I'll analyze that." It's just, no, this is my vision, this is my worldview, and it cannot be moved. I see it every day. So I think that to me would make the world a much better place. Just listen and try to understand. You may not agree, and that's okay, and you may draw the line here and the other person draws it there, but understanding each other, listening to each other, understanding you're from a different culture than I am, and what you consider normal, I do not consider normal, and why is that? How have we evolved into that? The perfect example is nowadays with the whole globalization. 40 years ago, flying was a thing of luxury, and only the people who could afford to fly would fly. Nowadays, I'll grab my phone and you and I can be in Tokyo in 12 hours, 14 hours, and like this. And then we're in a culture that we've never seen maybe, and we go like, they will think we're rude, we will think they're crazy, as opposed to go, hey, what do you guys do this? How is that? And why is this? And please explain it to me. No one does that. Yeah,
So true.
yeah. I wish we all did more of that. Yeah.
Try to.
It's going to take a long time.
Oh yeah, I don't. And I think with AI, it's just we might just be focused on other things that might not even be part of the priority.
I agree.
I mean, do you think AI is going to mess up the magic illusion world?
I don't think so. I firmly
improve it?
believe that magic is about something very quintessential, which is mystery. We all need mystery. It's a feeling, I guess, that just keeps the mystery, the wonder, the astonishment. And you see it everywhere. It could be a sunset. It could be a human relationship. It could be your phone. I don't even know how my phone works, and I use it every day. That's the most mysterious thing. How the waves function. Even neuroscience, we are still in a state where we're discovering still so much. In 50, 100 years, they will know way more than they knew today, and things that we don't know about yet may be normal back then. So I don't think AI will mess up that part. I think the need for mystery will remain for a very long time. And I see it in everyday life, even with religions. People are tending to go more back to religion, to spirituality. They need this reconnection, and there's a reason for that. So I think AI is not going to mess with that for a long time.
What do you think the reason is for that?
That's a good question. I think I read a lot about that in the past, and they say that there's a point where we as human beings need something above us. Something more powerful that we can give responsibility to, that we can also, just let steam off and just feel what we are. And I think that's part of it. And AI is a really terrifying tool. It's fantastic. I use it a lot. I'm sure everyone does nowadays. It's a really, if you know how to use it, it's really useful. But I also think that people need the thing that, or the entity or whatever you want to call it, that they don't understand, that is above them, that just makes them go, you take care of that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
If you were to describe a mysterious woman, like the ideal mysterious woman, how would you describe her?
I could give you one name.
Give me, yes.
No, I won't. She might watch this. A mysterious woman. How do you describe that?
Right?
It's like the ocean. And the ocean is deep, it's fascinating, it's dangerous, but it doesn't tell you. It's just there in its splendor. You look at it. If you want to discover it, here I am. But it's at your own risk. And if you don't want to discover it, I'm still here. You will miss all the beauty, all the thorns, and that's fine too. I think that's how I would describe the most mysterious woman.
The ocean.
The ocean.
Whew.
Yeah. Could be very peaceful, could be very wild, very
Terrifying.
deep. Terrifying as well. And at the same time,
Can't live without it. Because we need water.
We do need water.
Right?
We are 70% water.
It's crazy. I was thinking that. I was just about to say that. That's wild.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That is, wow. What are some of the biggest challenges you've experienced in your career?
Oh, in my career, I would start with my parents, their attitude towards my art, my career choice. And generally, the attitude in my country, in Luxembourg, in Western Europe, we have a very strong tendency of wanting everyone to be kind of equal. You know,
Socialist.
Yeah, socialist. But in Luxembourg,
Marxist.
it's very capitalist. So it's a very interesting combination between socialism and capitalism. But the Swedish have a term called lagom, which means that you can't be different. You know, everyone has to be kind of equal. And every time I express my dreams, my wishes, my goals, people look at me like I'm crazy. And I remember when I opened my show at the Tropicana in 2017, I got an email from, of all people, one of my former bankers. Her name was Natalie. She was a really great lady. I got along with her very well. And I get this email from her random, Catalina. It's really random. I'm at the Trop. I'm doing my shows. I'm taking care of Abby. And then I get my fan mail and everything else. And there's this mail by Natalie. And I'm reading it. And she goes, I really want to write to you because I remember when you were a teenager, you would tell me about your dreams. And I would think, what an arrogant kid. How dare he, think of those things? And you did it. And I want to compliment you. I want to congratulate you. I think this is awesome. I had another instance where I did an interview with a German magazine. While I was at the Tropicana, they called me from Frankfurt. Nice. And the interviewer was an acquaintance of mine. And we had met in 2005, I believe, in Ingolstadt or Munich. It was either or. And that lady tells me during the interview in 2017, who would have thought back then, when you were telling everyone that you were going to Vegas, who would have thought back then that you would make it? And I went, I did. And she laughed. And everyone thought I was crazy. So I had to struggle. Arnold Schwarzenegger calls them the naysayers. I was struggling with naysayers my entire life since I was a kid. So whatever you wanted to do, it's too big. It's too impossible. You're not good enough. You're never going to make it. Blah, blah, blah. And so you just carry the rocks and then you build your bridge with that. Instead of building the wall, you build the bridge and you just go and go and go. And I think that was the biggest obstacle, just fighting people's negativity. Yeah, that was the biggest obstacle. Everything else was manageable. I knew what I had to do somehow. I knew you have to market yourself. You have to be a great performer. You have to over-deliver. And that's what I've done my entire life. Always try to give more than I promise. Work harder than I can. And hoping that it's good enough. Wow. Yeah.
That obsession and that.
Yeah, it's passion. It's obsession. It's persistence. It's refusing to give up, resilience. Mm-hmm. That's something I was taught through my education, my upbringing with my father, that you just go for it.
Dang.
Yeah.
Are they still like that to this day? Now that you're so successful?
Thank you. We haven't spoken in 2 decades. So, yes, I made a choice for my happiness' sake. Yeah. It's fine. I am happy. Yes. At some point, you need to make a decision in life. And I had too much going on with them that I realized you're never going to change their attitude. They will keep pulling you down your entire life. So just let it go. Be like Elsa.
Let it go.
Yeah, exactly.
But what about if they pass tomorrow? Would you have regrets?
I will tell you no, and this is very private. We're public here. So that's one of the secrets from the first question, something I don't share. I reconnected with my parents 2 years ago. My brother insisted. He really begged me to try, and I tried. And I realized I had made the right decision 20 years ago. I was hoping that something had changed. I was hoping that they would realize what had happened, and nothing. And it's not their fault, so I will not blame them, but at the same time, I cannot carry their burden with me, and I cannot carry what they want me to carry. So, I live my life, you live your lives. We're reconnected. That's fine.
Do you think they suffer because they don't hear from you? Do you think they're just at peace with that? Or
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know, because they've never been able to express it. They've never been able to, like I said earlier, listen instead of going, what's going on, David? It was always me, 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 me. Sure, if it's all about you, you keep it that way. Yeah.
And that's what made you that's what made you decide that you decided that's it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I realized after 20 years that nothing had changed. So you just go, I'm good. I have had my journey. I've had my evolution or regression. That's not my tale to tell. But I realized that nothing's changed on that side. And that's fine. So, yeah.
Yeah, as long as you don't judge them.
Correct.
You don't carry their way.
Yeah.
Wow. What was the turning point that led to your success in Las Vegas? Like,
wow. Am I successful in Las Vegas?
you are very successful. Yes, you are.
Yeah,
and how
very
did the opportunity for your Las Vegas residency come about?
That's a good. That was an interesting journey. I had an engagement in Reno in 2014 that lasted 3 months, and that was the very first time in my career and life where I felt that I was good enough for something bigger. I had a series of agents come to the show, industry people. I was a nobody, and some of my friends had been established in the area, so some of the agents came to see them, but as a side effect, they saw me as well. And I got all this positive feedback, and all of a sudden I decided to approach that one friend. I said, do you think I'm ready? And he says, absolutely. I said, for Vegas? He said, yes. And I'm like, no. Because that's, everything's always this big mountain. Yeah, And he said, no, go for it. So I had a contact in LA that I had been working with for a bunch of years. He was a manager, but he worked for me as a consultant. And he put me in touch with another gentleman who used to be a casino buyer here, Danny. And Danny and I started working together, staying in touch regularly. And all of a sudden, Danny gets me the meetings. And we put together the business plan. We put together the show pitch. I started looking for investors. And we started pitching the shows here in Vegas. And I went from casino to casino, from entertainment director to entertainment director, from rejection to rejection, until the Tropicana said, we heard of you and we want you. And I'm like, okay, let's make it happen.
How did it feel at that moment when they were like, yes?
Very ambivalent, Carolina. It's this thing, yes. And again, I have to make this comparison with Siegfried again, because we talked a lot about those things. Siegfried was very similar. When they got the deal with the Mirage in '89, Siegfried told me, Roy jumped up, because Roy was the go-getter. He was the more extroverted guy, and he's like, we're going to make $54 million a year. We're going to spend all of it.
Oh, gosh.
And Siegfried runs to the bathroom and throws up and goes, no one gives you $54 million for free. There's a lot to deliver for. And that was my thought.
You had both of those.
my reaction was like, wow, you're in Vegas now. You have to deliver. And I remember Abby and I driving past my billboard, and she was all proud. She's like, hey, look, this is your face. And I go, yes, and I'm paying for that. That was my only reaction. I wasn't proud. I was not, wow, excited. I was terrified. It was, you opened the gate, and now you got to walk through it, and you have to deliver. You have to give 250%.
Oof,
and
the pressure.
The pressure. That's my. I think it's my motor, the responsibility. Like I said earlier, it's always been my driving force. Rather than gratification or whatever, but this pressure was this responsibility. I need to deliver now, and it was a fascinating whirlwind of emotions. I flew back to Europe, and we have the contract now. We have to work and work and work and work. And I remember when I was young, I met with a French movie producer, Christian Fechner. He was one of David Copperfield's close friends back then. And also a hobby magician. And I told Christian, that was in 93, I believe, 93, 94. And I told Christian, I said, I want to get there. And I'm ready and willing to work 24/7 when I'm there to make it happen. And I'm like this 23-year-old kid or 20-year-old kid, and Christian goes, no, 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 David. You don't work 24/7 when you're there. You start now. And that stuck with me. And that's exactly what I did. It was always this, it's now. You got to stay ready. You just need to do whatever needs to be done now so you are ready when the opportunity arises. Yeah, yeah. And that was the deal when we got the Tropicana. I was like, okay, I've been preparing for this for so many years. Now it's there. What needs to be done? What's left? And then you just give 200%. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
What is the goal? Like, what's next for you? Bigger
You mentioned
than
AI.
Copperfield?
You mentioned AI, which is a very interesting angle to that. 15 years ago, I knew exactly where I was going to go. I had my master plan, and every step was kind of laid out, and everything worked the way I wanted it because I worked really hard for it. Then, like I said, we had the accident. Then COVID happened. All those factors that are, beyond my control. And then technology has changed so drastically. As we all know, the evolution is so fast. It's really exponential to what it used to be. I don't even know what tomorrow looks like. I wish I could lay out my 5, for in the past was, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? If you ask me now, which you just did, I don't know. I still have my vision. I still have some goals about, media projects, live projects, multimedia projects, augmented reality, virtual reality, all those things. Trying to combine like the traditional magic with the future. But I don't know how to make it work because everything is so fast. I have friends who are entrepreneurs and they tell me, hey, I've had this business idea. I want to do this and this and this and go to that country and do this, that. And then either I or someone else goes, do you know that they just discovered this? Like there's a friend he works in the hair industry and he wants to do this and that. And I said, I read that they just discovered this enzyme that fights hair loss for men. And they've done X trials and this and that. Your business idea might be obsolete in 2.5 years. And he goes online, he researches, like, you're right.
Peptides that do all
that stuff. 15 years ago. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go to Morocco. Let's open a luxury spa and do this. Now it's like, is this going to be still valid in 2 years? You don't know. So magic has these advantages. I think it's timeless. It really nourishes and speaks to a very deep and visceral side of us. But the way of how to convey it, I think we need to adapt on one hand, which is, like you said earlier, I was the first magic show on the Strip. To have projection mapping, to have 3D mapping. At this point, Chris is doing it, Chris Angel. The whole theater is full of fantastic visuals. It's spectacular. But I back then I thought I want to be the guy. And at the same time, the thought was, how do you combine the old and the modern in a way that the modern doesn't overshadow the old and doesn't get credit for it? Because I don't want someone to go, oh yeah, it's not the magic tricks done through technology. No, it's not. And I want you to understand that. So there's a very, very fine line and balance to understand on how to use the modern technology in a very smart way.
Yeah, where it doesn't actually look like you're just...
That's what it is, exactly. Yeah.
And I don't know, because I've seen Chris's show. My favorite part was his wife singing.
Oh, yes.
And the son story.
Yes.
Those were very touching, beautiful stories.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Walking on Water is
he did that on
impressive.
TV, yes.
Yeah, that is... So how do you do all these things, like you said, just having to still keep that mystery? And would you, and I'm sure you would figure it out because you're an expert, would your goal be maybe, I don't know, MGM, Caesar's Palace, like a big venue?
Well, I had a big venue. The Trop was 1,100 seats.
Huge.
It was the theater was bigger than David's. David had 800 seats, I believe. I had 1,100 back then. And given the current market, over the past 10, 15 years, Vegas has really changed. Yeah. Shows are not what they used to be. People migrate towards the big concerts, the big headliners, the sports events, the esports events now. And live shows have really changed. And I feel like I experienced that at the Tropicana when I did this big show, we had a big cast, we had all those big stage elements and sets and everything. I loved it. I had a great time. It was very physical, which I adore. But then now I'm in a smaller venue, which could host to 225
Oh, that's not that
seats.
small.
It's really, it's kind of intimate. But at the same time, I connect with the audience differently. And I feel, going back to the spirituality, to the need to connect, a lot of people who have seen me at the Tropicana and come and see me here, some of them
prefer
tell
here.
me, we prefer this show. We get to know you. We want to spend time with you after this show. Whereas at the Trop, you were like unapproachable. You were like this larger than life character, which I was, invincible, unapproachable. And here, I see you 10 feet away. You can feel my energy. I feel your energy. I talk to you. I see your eyes. And that's very different. So would I want to do Caesar's Palace? Absolutely. MGM Grand? Absolutely. Am I happy where I am? Yes. It's both sizes satisfy different aspect of me. One is the more spiritual, intellectual, the connection, and the other one is the theatrical, the physical. I was able to rebuild a smaller version of my water tank that I had at the Tropicana. It was a huge piece. I'm on the water for 2.5 to 3 minutes. And I decided for this show, I want a smaller version of it. And we were able to create one.
Oh, wow.
And I'm able to do this physical feat, but to minimize the theatricality in a sense that it fits that smaller, intimate stage, and people still feel the danger. And that was a really great challenge that we successfully overcame. And still, I can see, okay, you have the intimacy, but you can still bring the theatricality to the table. And that's a nice combination. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not afraid of to be in the tank for all that long? You're not terrified? Like what is the feeling where you're inside there and there's water and you can't breathe and you see all these people shocked?
Yes. Well,
What
the
do you
thing
do?
is, I don't see the people.
Okay.
That's one thing. It's a very mental exercise. I realized when I started training for the water tank, I realized how mental the whole exercise is. My advantage, I've done martial arts my entire life. I've done a lot of physical things, so I know how to control my body and my mind very well. And I realized once you're underwater, you're on your own. And you take with you what's in here and what's in there. And a friend of mine asked me recently, what's happening when you're underwater? And I told him, I said, I have various mantras that I recite. I have various images, various visuals that I have that allow me to be in that safe space where I need to be to pick all the locks and stay underwater as long as I can. We had one instance here at the Magician's Room where, no, forgive me, it was not at the Magician's Room. It was last year when we were touring Europe. One of the chains got entangled while they were tying me up. And I did feel a knot, but I wasn't sure. And my stagehands didn't notice. Yes. So I'm on the water, and at some point, I feel that I'm stuck. My first reaction is panic. What are you going to do? My second reaction was, wait, you still have 4 minutes left in your lungs. Relax. And then you go through everything. What can I do? How do I do this? And then I went to plan B, plan C. I got out of it. Bam, I'm here. I was in the water maybe 15 seconds longer, but it was my mind that controlled the moment that went, no, relax. You're fine. Panic would have killed me. I've had a few instances where, you've had a bad day. You've had challenges and conflicts and this and that, and you take that with you on stage. And then at the end of the show, the water tank. And now you're on your own, and everything comes back. Your brain processes what happened the whole day, and it's just bomb, 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 bomb. And you go, no, I can't allow this, because it just makes you more active. It makes you nervous. It makes you want to get out, and you don't need to get out. You're safe. Yeah.
The brain.
Oh, it's such a powerful instrument. Yeah.
Especially yours. They have to take.
No, it's.
You have to be able to put aside your whole.
We all have that capacity, and I think we all do it to some extent without even noticing. It's this the metacognition, knowing knowing, understanding what you're thinking about what you think about. That's metacognition.
Yeah.
And that's the tool, the instrument that allows you to know when you're underwater or in a difficult situation. Wait, step aside. Look at yourself. What's happening? What are you thinking? What are you doing? Relax. Yeah.
Highest level of intelligence. More
It's
than anything.
and it's also meditation, I think. For me, the water tank is meditation. And I will say at the same time, I have this love and hate relationship with it, because every show, every night I go on stage, it's like, I have to do the water tank tonight. There's this tiny voice in me, I have to do it. And when I'm on it, I'm like, okay, go. And when I'm out of it, you did it again. It's very
night.
ambivalent. Yes, every night. Yes.
Doesn't that get boring after a while? Doesn't it get like, ugh?
No, I will tell you a very fascinating thing that I don't know that people can understand, because I remember when I was young, I read an article about a French magician, Gaëtan Bloom. He's a friend of mine. He's become a friend over the years, and Gaëtan used to do the old nightclubs in France, the Lido, the Folies Bergère, and so forth and so on, all those circuits. And someone asked him that question, what happens after you've done the same piece for 1,000 times? And he said, after a while, it's all about the details. And the young David would go, what details? And I'm very detail-oriented, which is very ironic and paradoxical, but I would go, what are the details? And then I realize I have pieces in my show that I've done for 5 years, 10 years, and I still learn about them, Catalina. There's moments where I go, what if you did this? What if you tried that? I had a piece that I had been doing for, I think, 3-4 years, and a colleague of mine, who sadly passed away this year, came to the show, and he goes, why don't you say that line? I'm like, that's cool. It's the funniest line in that act. And he's actually in the credits. I invited him to the show in Vegas. He lived in Vegas, and he never made it. He passed away a few weeks after I sent him the invitation. And every time I say that line in the show, I think of him. But years after having done the piece hundreds, thousands of times, you think you have it. But then there's like this tiny moment. I didn't think of that. It's fascinating. So there's always something, and every performance is different. They say that if you did the same show for the same audience and you erased everyone's memory, including yours, and redid the same show, it would still be a different show. So that's the beauty of it. It's never the same thing. There's always a variable that happens, always something that makes it, this wasn't like yesterday.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Could it be because of the way you feel and how your emotions are?
That plays a huge role. And again, Siegfried was one of the guys who told me from day one, remember, for you it may be the 1,000th show, but for them, it's the first time seeing you. You have to give them everything. They deserve it. And he was right. It's, you come to my show, you've never seen it. I don't want to be the guy who just recites his lines and, I've done this a million times. I want you to feel like it's fresh, like it's my first time as well, because that's what you deserve. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's
especially they travel all the way from Minnesota.
Right. Everywhere. I've had people from Canada, from Romania, from Turkey. I've had people from all over the world, from Japan, from China, from India. These people flew all the way. I may not have been their first choice, but they're still in my theater. So I want to honor you. You give me your time, your attention, your energy, your money. So, yeah, this is what I want for you. Yeah.
How beautiful. Yeah. As an illusionist, you're also a storyteller. How do you blend that narrative with magic?
I think it's become a natural thing for me. Magic is about stories, I think. Magic, the actual original magician's art. If you go back in history, magic, religion, and medicine were one. The shaman. People would go to the shaman. Mostly it was a woman in the past. A lot of people forgot that. That's why the priests still wear the tunic. It's a dress. It was the matriarchal society back then in many, many cultures. So the wise woman was the person who healed the person. She would carry the villages or the tribe's wisdom that she would transmit through stories. And they would also use magical elements to empower that, to drive the point, to have people believe what they were saying, to be the authority. So all those elements are blended in together. And magic in its deepest form is, it's life, it's death, it's resurrection. You cut something, you restore it. You destroy something, you bring it back. You levitate, you break the rules of physics. There's something very deep about it. And sadly, a lot of magicians have trivialized that to a point where, it's just, it's fun, it's cute, but we miss the essence of it very often. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with it just being entertaining. I want to point that out. But storytelling, I think, is vital. It's how you move people. It's how you connect. Everyone can do a trick, or everyone can recite a line, or everyone can sing a song. But it's the way, like I talked about Madonna earlier, or Michael Jackson. Remember the first video clips in '84, MTV. All of a sudden, you're telling me a story. It's not just a song. There's more to it. There's not just the lyrics. There's a visual that goes with it. Yeah. And magic is that. Magic is a movie. It's a live movie that you tell on stage. There's a plot. There's a beginning. There's a middle. There's an end. There's a twist. And you need to know how to tell that. And I learned that through a lot of reading, a lot of movies. I love reading. I love movies, and I love observing how great storytellers tell their stories and how they drive their point. So that's magic to me. That's the most important part. Wow. How to create a beautiful story, how to create a meaningful story, how to make something meaningful. Yeah, that's my challenge. Every time I create something, it's what do I want to tell with that? What's the message behind it? What's the gift for the audience? Yeah.
Could you have potentially you might have just described God. Could God just be a magician? Isn't it all magical?
Will we ever find out? Will we ever find out? Big question.
That is the question. And if we do, potentially, how? Are we all finding out differently?
That's a great question. Yes. I think the experience should be and will be different for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we will all view it from our own point of view, through our own lens. That's how life works. And I think the afterlife is possibly the same. You bring yourself to the table again, and hopefully you learn from it. And who knows?
A lot of people say, oh, this is just a simulation. But who created the simulation? I mean, how are you?
That's a deep question. Yeah, seriously. The Matrix, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But somebody must have created that as well. Like, what are we?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I know we are coming up to an end.
Yes.
But I have so much. I just want to hold you hostage for a long time. You're such an amazing guest.
No, it's mutual. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
It's mutual.
I truly enjoy your presence, your aura, your
likewise. Thank you.
Spirit. And I think I'm just going to stick to. Do you mind telling me 2 numbers from 15 to 27?
2 numbers from 15 to 27. Spontaneously 19.
19. What's the biggest misconception people have about life as a headlining magician? Wow.
Yes. That's a cool game. They only see the glamour. They only see the glamour. That's the biggest misconception. I have a cute story about show business in general. I was talking to Claudia Schiffer in 1994, and we were talking about show business, and we were in Paris, and she's telling me, David, you get up at 2:30 in the morning. The driver picks you up. You drive to the beach. You're exhausted. It's freezing. The people are on set. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, someone shows up with 2 ice cubes. Here, rub your nipples so they look nice. And then you lay on the beach. They take the pictures. You're freezing. You're trying to smile. After 2.5 hours, you go back to your hotel. If you're lucky, your life continues. If you're not that lucky, you got sick and you're in bed for a week. But the week after or the month after, you're on the cover of Elle magazine, of Vogue, of all those things, and people go, oh, what a life. And that's the misconception. You work 24/7. It's marketing, it's PR, it's the show, it's everything around the show, it's everything about your career, because it could be over any day. So you have to anticipate. And people just see, the beautiful part, which I love. That's what they should see. I don't want them to see behind the curtain. It's what we sell. It's the illusion. But the reality is hard work. All of us. Every performer on the strip, whether you're a magician, a singer, an actor, a comedian, it's non-stop work. Yeah. Competition doesn't sleep. And you want to be better every day. So, yeah. That's the misconception. The glamour.
Yeah. They don't see the tired man that goes home to the wife that's in a wheelchair.
Right. They don't see you limp in the morning. I remember talking to Chris about that. There was a time where Chris had a personal masseuse. Every morning she would just, knead his whole body because it was broken, because it's physical. It's very physical.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm in a similar situation. I've had friends who tell me after my show, my assistant, sometimes, David, you're limping. I said, psh, no one sees that.
But you still have nerve damage, right, from the fall?
I do, yeah. But when I'm functioning. But afterwards, when everything goes down, you go, oh, wait a second. And people don't see that. And that's fine. That's completely fine. So yeah, that's the
box.
Hidden side.
That's the box.
That's the hidden side.
We slowly but surely revealed the box. I love it. You truly opened up, didn't you?
I'm happy. Well, you have a talent for that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Next number. Let's do 24.
24. Has being an illusionist changed the way you see reality?
Oh, wow. Yes.
How?
That's a great question. Because of my travels, because I've met so many fascinating people, because also through questioning or creating illusions, you know that you're going beyond the real. You create something that is not there. So I have become very inquisitive myself. I ask questions about everything. And all those factors together have taught me so much about life, about humans, about myself. It's fascinating. I really don't know that if I had had another job, that I would see the world in the same way and the people in the same way. It's a huge gift. I've learned so much. I've met fascinating people. One of my dear friends is the creator of Siri, for instance, Adam Chyer. He created Siri. Another friend of mine is he's a producer. They have like 16 shows on Netflix.
Wow.
When we met, I had no idea. We're just friends. And 4 months, 6 months into the friendship, someone mentions, oh, Carl does this and that. What do you do, Carl? And then you find out, and then you start talking about your respective jobs. And I've learned so much about so many different topics, about history, about, we talked about the history of Luxembourg and Romania earlier. None of that, I think, would have been possible if I had not been an illusionist, because I've traveled so much, I've seen so much, I've experienced so much on different continents. It's just fascinating. Wow. Yeah, very enriching. My career has been...
You speak 7 languages?
Yes.
Which one?
I speak 7 languages. I understand more, and I can say hello, thank you, goodbye, and a lot of other things in 30, 40, 50 languages. I'm a sponge when it comes to languages.
I am. Fascinating.
Yeah. I love languages. It's the most powerful instrument we have. You express your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, and the more precise you are, the less conflicts there are.
Wow. How does it feel to be in a room where they speak a language that they don't think you understand, and you're out there like...
It's wonderful. I have had that.
Does that happen?
I have had that. Both ways. I remember being a kid. This was so embarrassing. We were 12 years old. It was on a soccer trip, and we were in Belgium, in the north of Belgium, literally 3.5 hours from home. And there's this 13-year-old idiots making fun of this guy. We're in a queue in some theme park, and we're all making fun of the guy, blah, 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 in Luxembourgish. And he's done ordering, and he turns around, and in our language, Luxembourgish, which like 500,000 people in the world speak, he turns around and goes, "Are you guys done?" So he was in that position of just listening, pretending nothing's happening, and then waiting for the climax, and goes, "Are you guys done?" And we're like, "Oh no, He understood us.
He understood.
Yes,
Wow.
and that's and I've been on the other side as well, where you're just there and people talk, and you go like, "Oh, fascinating." Yeah,
Right. I love when that happens,
yeah.
isn't it?
It's beautiful. It's
Oh my
beautiful. Yeah,
gosh.
it's fun.
You know what I want to do? I want to share. So I started doing this thing on the show where my guests respond to my previous guest question.
Oh yes,
And then you write the question
for the next one.
guest.
Yes,
May I give you the question?
absolutely. So Andy Lou's question, who's a wellness expert and author, how can you make your relationship with yourself better? I think that making your relationship with yourself better is, first of all, we talked about metacognition earlier. Have the ability to step outside yourself, look at yourself, ask the right questions, find the right people to answer those questions with you, and then
Love it.
look for the answers and live those answers. Does that make sense?
It does. Look for the answers.
So,
Are there signs?
signs. I think yes. There are signs. I believe that we have possibly traits, moments, behaviors, situations where we become angry, for instance. I've always been fascinated by anger since I was a child, because that's the environment I lived in. And I realized anger is basically just a mirror. Why do I get angry? If you tell me something and I become angry, it's because you've touched something here that it's not about you, it's about me. Maybe I feel like you pushed me in a corner, which shows me, wait, there's something unresolved. Maybe it's something that just triggered something else. And I wonder if you were able, like I said, to step outside and go, what is it that makes you angry? You don't want to be angry. So why don't you try to understand that, make peace with it,
Well,
and then you're fine. That's one step further to serenity. I guess that's the answer. Just stepping aside, stepping outside of yourself, watching you, looking for those questions, not the answers, because sometimes it's more difficult to find the right question than the answer. And once you know what question to ask yourself, ask your close friends, the people that you trust, what would you say is that?
wow.
And then go, okay, let's work on that. I think that's it.
If only people had that skill.
Oh, it's
Most
difficult,
people-
isn't it?
Yeah, most don't have that skill.
No, I don't think any of us do. And it goes in both ways, I think. It's
To an extent, yeah.
you mentioned the narcissist earlier, who, they're absolutely perfect. They're this, they're that, but deep inside they're very insecure and they don't know that. And then you have the people who question themselves all the time, who are the other extreme. And I'm sure there's some people in the middle, the balanced ones, who are in harmony with themselves, who are serene. And that's the thing. I think that's the state of mind that we should aspire to just
Find a balance.
understand what is it that brings you out of balance, and how can you reach that balance?
Whew.
Does that make sense?
Oh, to me,
Yeah.
yes. I'm always trying to reach balance
Yeah.
and check myself.
What's your sign?
Pisces.
Pisces. Okay.
What about you?
I'm Libra. I am the balance guy.
That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Very organized.
I try to be.
Very loyal, man.
Yes, very loyal. I am loyal.
Yeah.
That's not always a great trait, but it's what it is.
It's
Yes.
a great trait.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes you do have to be loyal with yourself, because a lot of times you guys are so loyal that you put others before yourself.
Yeah. That's what I said earlier. Making
So,
other
yeah.
people happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes us happy, so it's fine.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice sign. Huh.
So now I need to ask a question. Do I say it openly or do I write it down quietly?
It's up to you.
Okay. Mine would be similar. Let's go in that direction. I think the question would be, and that's more specific. Let's make it specific. I could ask you that question of myself. What truth about yourself that you were uncomfortable with have you discovered, made peace with, and how has it changed the way you live?
Dang. Whew.
Yeah, I think that's
a
an
beautiful
important question. I
question.
think it's an important question.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah?
Let's do
All right,
it.
all
I
right.
love it.
Let's do that. That's my question.
I'm going to write it down after this.
We'll try to articulate it properly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I think that's
wow.
it. Finding the truth about what truth about yourself that you were not comfortable with have you found, changed, and how has it changed the way you live?
Wow.
Okay.
And how would you answer that about yourself?
I'm still working on a lot of those things. And I think this is a perfect example. A lot of my journey has allowed me to be more open. Because I've said a lot of things today that I would normally not share, which goes back to the first question, the secrets. It's very much due to your personality and making me feel comfortable. But I've also experienced this being at peace with what happened with your life, the challenges, the good things, and understanding that you are the sum of all those experiences, the good and the bad, and it's totally fine. So I'm still working on that. And at the same time, I realize that knowledge, that understanding helps me be okay with it. There's nothing wrong with having had a bad childhood, having had a great childhood, having experienced this or that. Just own it. Try to own whatever you went through, make peace with it. And I'm saying that in a good way, not the usual therapeutic way. It's just, that's what happened, and it's okay, the good and the bad, and you can talk about it. There's no shame, there's no filter. Don't be afraid of judgment, because we all judge. I always hear people, "Oh, I don't judge you." Yes, you do. You may not be condemning me, but you are judging me, and it's totally okay. You may judge me. It's what we do. It's what keeps us safe. I'm assessing a situation. I'm assessing a person. That's judgment. And that allows me to know how far I can go. So I think it's totally okay to be judged and to judge. But condemning is a different thing. Yeah, that's the next step. Yeah. Who am I to condemn you? That's where it becomes deeper. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that's part of my journey. Understanding that opening up is fine. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It could be healing.
Yes, correct. That's a very good term.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I love how inspirational that is. It's very touching.
Thanks.
Because we all had, something. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate. And
I think a lot, yeah. Especially in our Western culture. But there's also a lot in other cultures where I can see this guard that a lot of people have. I saw a movie recently where the guy is talking to a lady about another guy, and he doesn't know that the guy is hiding, and he says, "I actually liked the kid." And she goes, "Why didn't you tell him?" "Well, he doesn't need to know." And she goes, "Maybe he does." And then you fast forward to the scene where the two guys are facing each other, and the older guy goes, "Hey kid, I and the kid goes, "It's okay, you don't need to say it." And the guy goes, "Oh, thank God." And I wish, because this perpetuates this alpha thing, you don't show your emotions and blah, blah. And I wish the script writers had decided to change path and have the kid wait. Yes, say it. "I really like you. Thank you." That's the thing. Yeah, just open up.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I love it. Wow, what a beautiful way to just drop the mic on this freaking
We are
episode.
done. We are done.
Oh my gosh. And I feel insatiable because it's so much you're like this, just peeling and peeling in so many layers. There's so much amazingness going on here. And where
you.
can people find you to follow you?
Well, David Goldrake. I am on Instagram. I am on X. I am on Threads. I am on whatever else,
TikTok?
my website. I do have like 6 videos on TikTok. And I'm on Facebook with David Goldrake Official. So
nice.
that's where you can find me. And yeah.
And is there a question you wish I had asked that I haven't?
Oh, no, you've really asked great questions. As you know, podcasts are difficult for both the interviewer and the interviewee because you do so many, and there's like the standard path, the standard cliche questions. And I really think that you did a really good job at asking some different questions that make me more comfortable, that make me want to talk more about different things that are not so traditional, and I like that. So no. You asked all the good questions.
Oh,
yeah, thank you.
So much.
Mulțumesc.
Oh my goodness, merci beaucoup.
Avec plaisir.
Thank you.